Michael, great to see you. And got to say, been following you pretty closely over the last 12 months. You won rookie honours in the Italian F3 series, and now you're progressing into Euro F3, which is great. But even more interestingly, you're a young American in Europe, on centre stage, as it were, and to the backdrop of the Austin Grand Prix. That's really interesting to see. So I'd just like to begin, if I could, by just asking you what made you take the decision to come to Europe? It's a big one for young American to make.
Yeah, no, it is quite big, and the decision wasn't just off the chart. Okay, we're going to Europe next year. No, basically, I was racing in Europe already since basically 2006 in go-karts. So it was a natural progression from karting and junior Formula Series into arriving back here in Europe. For example, I was in Italy for on and off from '05 to '08 go-karting, and then 2009 I was in Formula BMW USA, won the rookie title there, so I was granted a scholarship. And what really pushed me to go to Europe for 2010 and 11 was this scholarship was at a time when the USA BMW Championship was canceled for 2010, so all I had left was Asia and Europe. And so naturally Europe kind of fell into place because we already established contacts, there. And my team that I would run again in 2010 was already in Europe. So basically, 2010 was already set up for Europe, and it kind of was a natural progression. And that was the same progression for 2011, basically, into F3.
And where did those original European links come from for the karting? Because even that is very unusual for an American as well.
Yeah, no, honestly, basically, I was go-karting in the US, just started out. And my family and I always took a 1 month vacation to Italy. And my dad was, always likes racing. I like racing. And we always, would go to the rental go-kart tracks when we were in Europe. And he said, hey, because you're, racing go-karts, like, why don't we try to do a race over here? And we did. And it kind of started from just the curiosity of just trying to race over here. And we ended up with stocking with CRG and Zanardi go-karts, and it took off. But yeah, just from the curiosity, that was it.
Amazing. And your dad has a bit of a racing background. Well, I say that kind of with a smirk on my face because he's a big deal and has been a big deal most of his life in the world of sprint car racing in America. Tell us a little bit about him.
Yeah, basically, for those who don't know my father, he owns a midget racing team, which is similar to a sprint car and races on oval circuits in the U.S. And on top of that, the bigger kind of entity my dad is involved in is a racing magazine. Actually, he was. Actually, last week he announced he was retiring from the head of a racing magazine titled Performance Racing Industry. And with this racing magazine, he produces a massive racing trade show in the U.S. So very, very linked into motorsports, and we are really, really a big family of motorsports for that side of things.
So why didn't you? Well, we're very pleased you didn't from the European perspective. But why didn't you just go into oval racing midgets? So you did race midgets for a bit, but why didn't you continue on that path, which would be logical for most young Americans in your situation?
Yeah, we actually started with oval racing. It's called a quarter midget, which is basically a midget car, but smaller. And we did that. It was very fast. And instead of jumping into, say a stock car immediately or, full midget or whatever, my father and I talked about it. And basically, we tried to push ourselves in a way that maybe wasn't as comfortable for us or, harder for us so that I could try to learn even more than what we already knew, because we already knew oval racing, to the T, and he wanted, to see me succeed, and I said, if I wanted to move up, what's the best way for me to succeed? And we looked at go-karts, and it was road racing, because we had some influence from a good friend of ours, Patrick Long, and we talked to him about it. We talked to some other people, and it was kind of this trend towards road racing, which at the time was kind of foreign to us. Like you say, it would be really easy to go to oval midgets, whatever. But we wanted to see where it would take us because we had that knowledge of oval racing, and maybe we could fall back on that, fine. But we wanted to see how far we could go. So I went into go-karts, road racing, and then because I was in go-karts for the majority of my kind of junior career, it was just a progression towards road racing from that moment on. And all the contacts we made ended up being okay.
Well, it's brilliant to hear that. I mean, Pat Long, we know Pat Long, very talented driver, and in a way, kind of sad that he never had the single-seater career that he deserved. But he's done very well in sports cars and GT, and great great guy, as I say, very talented in his own right and quick in karts, obviously.
Very fast.
So tell us about your life now. You're based in Italy and you're now doing the Euro F3, having raced Italian F3 last year. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so basically, he said I'll be racing in European F3 with Prema Power Team, which was the same team I was driving for last year. Very strong group and build really fast race cars, and it's a really good organization. So racing for them, naturally living in Italy is the best place because they're an Italian team. And also my trainer and a good friend, Giacomo Ricci, lives here as well. He's also a racing driver. And so I am actually based in Lago Maggiore. It's a big lake Major in English, if you would like to describe it like that. And it's just north of Milan by 40 minutes. And I live in a really, really small town. Even though it's a lake and it's really, really nice, the town I live in is very, very small and perfect to go training. You're near the outdoors all the time, and that's where I am at the moment.
Michael, Formula 3, I got to say for Formula 1 people, is quite confusing these days. There's British Formula 3, there's Euro F3, there's Italian F3, there's probably a few other F3 championships out there as well. It's kind of a shame that it's not kind of all under one umbrella and we've got one really big, large field of cars. What's your take on that?
For me, I would like to see the same. I mean, you have, like you said, 5 different championships of Formula 3, basically racing in the same areas apart from the British F3. Yeah, I mean, it would make more sense. I mean, they're trying to do that now. The FIA has kind of brought the FIA championship of F3 more together, but it's still a bit disoriented. Whether it's good or bad, I can't say. But it would be nice to have 30 cars like it used to be. But yeah, that's the way it is. Yeah. And just kind of deal with it.
How is it from your point of view, from an economic point of view, being an American? As I say, that we've got Austin coming up. What's it like for you in terms of approaching sponsors, trying to raise money?
Yeah, basically, it's hard whether you're an American or European. It's the same thing. And basically, you just have to have some contacts in major companies. And I'm very, very fortunate to have known K&N Air Filters in Ibach Springs, who are A, good friends of ours, and B, been able to help me through my career and part with many other people. But it's hard. You must establish yourself in the junior ranks, and then once you're able to talk to somebody, you have to keep building that relationship. It doesn't come very easily. And I would bet you would hear the same response for a European or someone in Asian countries, the same, because just people right now are not willing to give basically budget as easily as it was before.
One of the highlights of your career so far, I guess, was doing that Ferrari test, I think at Vallelunga, right?
Yes.
At the end of last year. What car was that and how did it go?
It was the F60 chassis, 2009.
And did you have any baseline lap time to compare yourself with there?
Yes, but the car I was running was using only GP2 tires, and also we were using a track that was about 10 seconds slower than the normal Vallelunga track. But we had the lap time to be compared to, but it was nothing even close because the track is completely different. It was like my first time, so no way. But anyway, it was pretty fast in the end, and this car is amazing, especially to drive the red car with the prancing horse on the side. It's something pretty special, honestly. To think about it, you would never really dream to be there, and then I was there. So it was probably one of the best moments of my career so far.
Well, let's hope you have plenty more of those. But equally, it would have put you in touch with the Ferrari people, possibly with the young driver program there. So that's probably even more important than just getting in the car and driving it for the day. Yeah,
as you know, Luca Baldisseri, everybody over there at the FDA Ferrari Academy, was good to see them. But what's funny is the chance to see them I had already the whole year of 2011 because my teammate Rafael Marciello was a Ferrari FDA driver. And I was always in contact with Baldisseri. He was really, really nice to me and provided many opportunities. And the whole group, Francesco Pon, his engineer, is a good friend as well. So it was actually almost the same thing as driving an F3 car, just the car was faster. So I just showed up to Vallelunga, there's an F1 car. Let's do it again and continue. But yeah, for sure, it was good to see them again. But that was kind of, first to drive the car, enjoy it, and two, just to see everybody again. And you never know what can happen. So they're really nice people, and they helped me, and Ferrari gave me, obviously, a very good opportunity, so you never know.
Yeah, great guys, and Luca, a friend of ours on the Flying Lap, we've had him on, and Well, let's hope that your results this year in F3 take you further up the ladder in that respect. Raphael's in your team as well. You got Felix. You got Daniel Yoncadella, who we've also had on the show. I mean, just within Prema Powersport, there's going to be some amazing racing. It looks like.
Yeah, all of our teammates, like you said, Marciello, Yoncadella, also Sven Muller, Mercedes guy as well, and we're all pushing quite hard, and the testing already. Every session, everybody's on different. There's a different Prema driver on top always. So I'll be fastest one time in the way, but then it's Muller and Yoncadella. So we're all pushing each other. And it's a good thing because you can never let your guard down, which you never do anyway. But it's even more, more fire to do well. And for me, it's really good. We're working well with all 4 of our engineers. Are just gathering data, and we're able to, try different things as individual drivers. So maybe I will go out with, let's say, a softer setup versus Sven. Sven will go out with maybe stiffer, and we'll try to find the best combination of things. So it's kind of. It's good in the respect that we get more information. It also pushes you a bit more in the mental aspect, but very, very good drivers. Obviously, Daniel winning Macau, so definitely a pretty fast guy.
Michael, great to chat to you. Very best of luck with everything, and hope you win lots of races and you get the success you deserve. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much. I will push like crazy and see what happens. Talk to you later, Peter.
Thanks, Michael. Thank you.